I don't like talking about stuff like this, by the way. Partially because, I just don't want, this incredibly philanthropic man to come and learn about it.
Exclusive interview with our very own Chloe Malas. In a wide-ranging interview, Amazon's founder, Jeff Bezos, is opening up about politics, philanthropy, and the economy. He and his partner, Lauren Sanchez, also tell CNN they're writing a $100 million check to the legendary country singer Dolly Parton to help her advance her own charity work. Watch.
Talk to me about choosing Dolly Parton.
Well, look at what she's done and how she's led her life. And the way she's done it, these bold things, always with...
Bro, I can't believe I'm about to say this about my boss, but they are so busted. What's going on, dude? There's just something going on with, like, rich people and like, the kind of, like, rich person plastic surgery. Like, you either look like Bella Hadid, which is great, right? Or you go one step further and you're, like, Omega rich. And then I don't know if it's like the oozing of the Botox that you use when you were like kind of rich or not really all that rich, or if you just don't know what the right esthetician is, but it's just crazy.
Civility and kindness. She's a unifier. We have big problems in the world, and the way to get big problems done is you have to work together. We have too many examples in the world of conflict and people using ad hominem attacks on social media and so on and so on. You won't find Dolly Parton doing that.
And when you
Yeah, that's why we chose Dolly Parton, because she doesn't engage in ad hominem attacks. Yo, oh my God, I really hope this motherfucker doesn't know who I am. Holy shit, dude. And I mean, I love him. I love Jeff Bezos. Sir, you are so good. I love you. You are the best. I mean, you're better than Elon Musk, okay? You're so good. I think that your Lex Luthor style approach is very cool. You chose the exact opposite route. Instead of doing the hair plugs and not doing steroids, you chose to do the steroids and the HGH and not go with the hair plugs, which I respect, I think. That's cool. And you went to space. That's cool. You're not weird at all. You're not weird and gross at all, okay? Bro, he's natty? What do you mean? Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? He's natty. He has, like, the typical build of an old man who never worked out until, like, in his late 30s and can't overcome the bitch tits, but he still has, like... What? He straight up has, like... He has the best bod out of all the billionaires. I'll say it. Well, not like LeBron James, obviously. LeBron James is the best bod by far. But I'm saying, like, out of all, like, the non-athlete, non-actor billionaires, like, he has the best bod for sure. For sure.
When you think of Dolly, look, everyone smiles, right? And all she wants to do is bring light into other people's world. That's all. And so we couldn't have thought of someone better than to give this award to Dolly.
The nation is very divided right now on many issues. Do you think that the American dream is something that really is still attainable right now?
Well, I'm an optimist.
Dude, he's bursting out, dude. Look at that shit. Okay, I'm not meat writing, but like look at him, dude. He is a fucking juice lord. Are you crazy? Bro, he literally, bro, that shot looks like it's a body that belongs to someone else. Okay? When you do the headshot, you're like, oh, okay, like that's his weird busted face. And then the shot expands and you get that wide shot and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck happened to your shoulders, bro? What happened to your titties, dog? What the fuck is going on?
Optimist. I think the American dream is and will be even more attainable.
Bro, he literally looks like he put on like someone else's like muscle suit.
In the future. Look, one of the things that I don't like about the current environment is that I think there's a lot of division. I think that people use conflict as a tool to achieve their own ends. I don't think it's a good tool. We see sometimes in our political sphere.
Yeah, like when Jeff Bezos is like relying on squashing conflict, okay? Relying on the state to squash pre-existing conflict, like people being like, hey, we want better wages. Like, hey, can I not piss in a bottle? Hey, I don't want to be attached to this fucking machine that's like constantly calculating what what my time off task looks like. He's relying on the inherently oppressive structural violence of poverty that came before him and will probably continue after he passes, right? If he ever perishes, he might have already figured out the whole like head in a jar type thing. Who knows? But like, he just has like, he can just say like, oh man, I hate that conflict. The ad hominem attacks and the civility is just so weird, right? Like, I hate that shit. It's like, bro, yeah, you can say that because like your life is pretty much devoid of that, okay? There is not a single fucking conflict that you can't pay your way out of. I mean, guys, remember, this is a man who, like, he overcame divorce court. He's a divorce court victim, okay? He's a divorce court victim, which was the greatest conflict facing any, cisgendered, heterosexual, red-blooded American man, okay? He overcame that. I don't think he won divorce court, let's be real. It was a -$50 billion divorce court, okay? And part of the reason why he went to divorce court was because the fucking Saudi nation, like, revealed that he was sexting that cutie next to him on, like, different social media apps and shit. Does anybody remember that? Which, by the way, Mackenzie is a dime, straight up. I can't believe he downgraded so hard. Like, Mackenzie stood by your side from day one. That's your day one. She's natty. She also likes to work out. She keeps it tight. Cannot believe that this man fucked the big bag up like a $50 billion downgrade. Anyway, that's unrelated. I just can't stop thinking about that regularly. All right, let's keep going.
Certain politicians criticize other politicians. They criticize their motives, their character. They call them names. Once you've done that, it's hard to work with somebody. And that's why we created the Courage and Civility Award, because we want to highlight people who don't do that.
And we wanted to amplify their voices, because
it'd be real funny if they gave me that.
the voices that are really negative seem to get amplified in this world.
When you go and you look at your net worth, it's too much money to even spend in a lifetime. Do you plan to give away the majority of your wealth in your lifetime?
Yeah, I do. And the hard part is figuring out how to do it in a levered way. It's not easy. Building Amazon was not easy. It took a lot of hard work, a bunch of very smart teammates, and I'm finding, and I think Lauren's finding the same thing, that philanthropy is very similar. It's not easy. It's really hard, and there are a bunch of ways that I think that you could do ineffective things too. So
No, bro. Listen, dog. There's a real easy way, okay? Just look at Elon Musk. Just look at Elon Musk, dude. He's doing it so easy right now. Look at Kanye West. I'll give you one low-tier billionaire and one high-tier billionaire, okay? Both of them have been melting, okay? They have been straight up just putting entire bags of money and just lighting it on fire. Oh, there's another one, the FTX CEO. God, so many Billy boys have been so silly Billy on the timeline lately. What is happening? Mark Zuckerberg, Sam Bankman-Fried, Elon Musk, Kanye West. That's crazy. That's crazy. They're showing Jeff Jebediah how it's done, okay? He's out here like, oh, man, it's really hard to spend all my money. Meanwhile, like, Elon Musk is like, no, it's not.
we're building the capacity to be able to give away this money.
How do you decide where to put your efforts?
There are so many places where philanthropists and anybody who wants to donate to charity can put their money to work. I feel like you have to do things at two time scales. You have to work on the urgent, the here and now, the immediate, and you have to work on the long term. So the Bezos Earth Fund is sort of about this. It's a 10-year commitment to work on these really big problems that we have on sustainability. And
see, like, if we had like a genuine, if the media was not a mouthpiece for capital, this would not be a puff piece. there would have to be some level of contention here. Like a person that is at least like relatively honest and recognizes their position as a journalist in media should ask the very simple question. You have amassed billions of dollars, okay? And all of them hinges on the profits that you have extracted from your workers. How do you make up for that reality in your mind? Okay? Because right now, without that question, this is just advertisement. This is just puff piece. This is not a real interview. This is just, he paid for this, basically. And if you are talking about philanthropy and how difficult it is, why don't you feel like the government should get some of these funds rather than, these tax-free donations or these donations that you're going to be making that will also shelter some of your assets and some of the tax burden that you have, will diminish some of the tax burden that you have. Like, why can't the government spend it?
Conservation and restoration.
Stop saying the government was send it to Ukraine. Shut up. Shut up. Don't be a fucking weirdo. Don't be one of those guys. You're literally playing. Like, yes, the government does spend a lot of fucking money on the defense side, okay? But it doesn't matter. Ultimately, there's a fuckload of money that still goes to the roads and the schools. And, like, you are literally just starving the beast, but in a leftist way. It hurts my soul when people who are otherwise functionally leftist make these kinds of arguments. Okay? Oof. It's crazy. Like, you're not wrong. That's the worst part about it, is that, like, you're not wrong. Yes, the government will take a lot of your funds and use it in an inadequate fashion. Use it for the military-industrial complex. Certainly. That is the truth. Okay? They will do that. And that is a realistic position. But what you should see beyond that is the reality that, no matter what happens, a lot of that money is still going to go to potholes, roads, schools, public education, social safety nets, social security. There are so many areas that are inadequately funded. You can work to try and fix the government and make sure that it operates for everyone adequately, while also consistently staying on message with making sure that billionaires pay their fucking fair share, which I think they should. Also, when you say that about Jeff Bezos, like, what are you, crazy? He has government contracts. He's a defense contractor just like anyone else. So, like, what, you think Jeff Bezos doesn't want to fucking pay his fair share in taxes because he's like, oh, it's going to Ukraine? He doesn't give a fuck, dude. He's literally a defense contractor. The fuck are you talking about? What do you mean?
The Day One Fund, where we do work on the here and now, the urgent food security, homelessness, transient homelessness. There's all kinds of very important problems in that arena too.
Talk to me about this team that you two have.
That is pretty funny. Jeff Bezos has never seen a homeless person. I'm gonna be honest with you. When do you guys think the last time Jeff Bezos saw a homeless person? Like, straight up. Like, I don't think he can see with his eyes a homeless person in the physical space. There is no shot. People are like, he's from Seattle, law. It's like, yeah, dude. What? He lives in a fucking compound. You think he just, strolls down to the local Starbucks to grab a cup of Joe? Like, no, it's Jeff Bezos, brother. He takes a helicopter to work. Yeah, literally. Like, also the irony is that, like, every single person that he is in any room with the exception of, like, maybe Davos or, like, the Aspen Ideas or, like, the fucking Idaho, the Jackson Hole conference that he goes to, Every single person Jeff Bezos meets is infinitely closer to homelessness than they are to Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is so wealthy that he quite literally is in like 99.99999% of rooms, everyone is literally homeless. Like, he went on a fucking rocket. He went to space with a bunch of dudes who were functionally homeless in comparison to his wealth. William Shatner included. Okay? Would you hit Jeff Bezos? He's hot. I'll say it. He works out.
Built together.
That's a good word. We're really great teammates, and we also have a lot of fun together, and we love each other.
True.
So I love how we work together. We always look at each other and like, we're the team.
It's easy. You know, we bring each other energy. We respect each other. So it's fun to work together.
Let's bring in our own Chloe Malas, who sat down.
Yeah, people say don't sleep with your boss until your boss is Jeffrey Jebediah Bezos, dude. I mean, come on. He's hot. He's hot.
Down with the two of them. It just goes without saying it is so hard to get time with them. So the fact that you're the one they chose to sit down with says a lot.
Thank you. Well, look, it's the first time that we.
The real reason they divorced, Short King slander. How dare you, dude? That is actually bullshit. No, the real reason why they divorced, I told you why they divorced. It's because he was like sexting some honeys. You know what I mean? That's what he was doing. Bro, he ain't watching right now. You can talk shit. Listen, dog, I'm trying to secure a fat contract, okay? I'm trying to get the bag. Honestly, he fucked up the bag double time. Like, not only did this cost them $50 billion, but it also cost them like Mackenzie Bezos' love and affection. And she seems like as normal as you can be. It's not like they met while he was like super wealthy or anything. They like literally, that's a day one. And she's very attractive, like on top of everything else. But it's in my opinion, I think it's like so much more important to be day one than anything else. All the money in the world and he still can't buy privacy, brother. The Saudi kingdom hacked him. It's not like it was some fucking phishing scam that he got caught in. It was the Saudi government. The level of access that they have. Here, let me tell you something, okay? The Saudi kingdom has more access to your shit if they want to. Like, let's say you're like a Shia Saudi person living in fucking Canada, okay? They have more access to your personal information than like the CIA does. They'll just go and buy it. Like I said, it doesn't matter if unless you're like an 18-year-old Shia. A Saudi national who is a Shia who is like living in fucking Canada or some shit. Anyway. Motherfucker clicked on a phishing link to get hacked though. Yeah, by the Saudi government, dude. I mean, it's a little different when it's MBS himself cooking you. Why did they do that? I don't really remember what was the reason behind that move. They married when he was the richest person in America and she worked for him? What do you mean, day one? Wait, what? No, dude, you're talking about Bill Gates. You're mistaking Bill and Melinda Gates for Jeffrey and Mackenzie. I think he was still caked up, but he was nowhere near. Like, this is... Oh, it's because Khashoggi, because he bought Washington Post. That's right. Good call, guys. When did they get married? Let's look at Jeffrey and... Jeff Bezos, Mackenzie... Scott. Marriage. Yeah, they were married for 25 years, man. I don't think he was like, he was worth 5 billion. Wait, really? I thought they started Amazon together, though. In 1992, Bezos was working for D.E. Shaw in Manhattan, where he met novelist Mackenzie Tuttle, who was a research associate at the firm. The couple married a year later in 1994. They moved across the country to Seattle, Washington, where Bezos found Amazon. Yeah. They got married, and then Jeff Bezos made Amazon. And she definitely she was there. Yo, low-key, Mackenzie and Jeff, like, their height difference isn't that significant if you take out Mackenzie's neck length, dude. What the fuck? Mackenzie's like 80% neck. What is going on? She helped him run it out of their garage, if I remember right, at the beginning. Yeah. Why do you think there was no prenup, chatters? Why do you think there was no prenup? You think someone worth a couple billion is not going to get a fucking prenuptial agreement lined up with their significant other before they get married? You're out of your mind, dude. That's why her net worth now is $50 billion, which she deserves, by the way. I'm not even going to fucking act like that's not the case. Like, not deserves in the same way that, like obviously no one deserves that kind of money. Like, that's ridiculous. And all of that is still ill-gotten gains, that is exploitative. But, like, as far as, like, did she fucking help out from day one? 100%. Being brutal alongside Jeff? 100%. Azan, gotta say, it's kind of creepy how deep you're trying to get into your boss's sex life. Okay, dude, it's Jeff Bezos. It's not like my boss is like some fucking your manager at Jiffy Lube, you know? It's Jeff Bezos. It's the news.
We've heard from them together in 4 years, and it was the first time ever since they first came out as a couple in 2019. And, you know, he doesn't really give sit-down interviews, and it was all pegged to obviously giving Dolly Parton this $100 million grant Friday night at a private event at his home. He's previously given one to our own CNN Van Jones, Jose Andres. But we did talk about potentially buying the NFL Commanders, the Washington Commanders. And we did talk about Lauren wanting to go to space with an all-female crew. So this was a very
oh my God,
at their home in D.C. that lasted over 20 minutes.
Yeah, and of course, he's one of the wealthiest men, one of the most powerful men in the world because of course, what he has built at Amazon and other entities. He has been fretting about the economy. He has been speaking out. He's clashed with the White House on what he believes are the real issues. What did he say to you about where things stand in his view?
Well, look, he recently tweeted, "Batten down the hatches." So I wanted to know, what is your take on the recession? Are we in one? Take a listen to what he had to say. We are in some tough economic times.
Yeah.
Some people say that perhaps we're already in a recession. Do you think that we're in one? And what is your advice for small business owners?
I don't know whether we're technically in a recession. I know economists argue over that, and they have certain technical definitions. What I can tell you is the economy does not look great right now. Things are slowing down. You're seeing layoffs in many, many sectors of the economy. People are slowing down. The probabilities say if we're not in a recession right now, we're likely to be in one very soon. So my advice to people, whether they're small business owners or, you know, is take some risk off the table. If you were going to make a purchase, maybe slow down that purchase a little bit. Keep some dry powder on hand, and wait a bit and see how. Try to reduce some risk in your business or your life.
Well, you tweeted "batten down the hatches." That's what you mean by that?
That's what I mean. If you're an individual and you're thinking about buying a new, large screen TV, maybe slow that down, keep that cash, see what happens. Same thing with a refrigerator or a new car or whatever. Just take some risk off the table. If you're a small business, maybe delay some capital purchases. Do you really need that new piece of equipment? Maybe it can wait a little bit. Have some cash on hand. Just a little bit of risk reduction could make the difference for that small business if we do get into even more serious economic problems. So you got to play the probabilities a little bit.
Any idea in terms of what you're hearing or just with your expertise as to how long this recession could last?
I don't think even the most experienced economists in the world can answer that question. It's a very challenging thing to try and estimate.
So is someone gonna ask, like, so what's up with, like, when you say, you know, shave a little bit from the corners, do some cost cutting? What about the 10,000 employees you are starting to fucking lay off? Like, does that factor into your, you know, redundancy elimination? You know, because you're Jeff Bezos. Like, you're telling me, you know, lay off the fucking avocado toast. But for you, that means, like, you know, 10,000 workers that are now out of a job. Crypto bros recording themselves crying? Stop. Oh God, I can't watch that. You want me to come? Is that what you want me to do? I can't do that. That is literally porn for me. Stop. I'm gonna come. Do not come. I'm gonna come.
So I think you just have to try and be reasonable about it, take as much risk off the table as you can for yourself. You know, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
So you heard Jeff Bezos right there say that if you're looking to make some big purchases, to maybe think twice about it for right now, to keep some powder on hand, he was saying. And then, you know, we're in the midst of a tech recession with all of these layoffs in the industry, and it's a really uncertain time. And, you know, we also got into other things, like I said, in space and what it looks like on their Saturday night and how they fight over what movies to watch. And so later in the day, we'll show you some more.
You know what's interesting, and you were talking about, you know, sort of the buzz around him. You see, I saw him and Lauren at the Portrait Gallery unveiling.
Bro, that's like, dude. It's always funny when, like, chatters think I'm you know, to this degree mobbed up, lack of a better term, because, like, Don Lemon and Jeff Bezos are, like, hanging out at gallery openings and shit. You know what I mean? The fuck?
With Clive Davis, so you have all of these people in the room.
That's how you arrive at a fucking non-contentious relationship within the media and those who own capital, by the way. Because that person that's offering that puff piece interview to Jeff Bezos wants to become that person one day. And she knows in order for that person to become this person, you got to fucking not rock the boat.
The top of the celebrity CEOs. Not that he's a founder, but who was in the room? Marianne Edelman-Wright, Jose Andres, Venus and Serena Williams, Hillary Clinton, Dr. Anthony Fauci, Clive Davis. You know who? I mean, people were focused on them, but you know who had the biggest buzz?
Tell me.
Jeff Bezos.
I mean, he did go to space.
Yeah.
There's that too,
So,
on top of everything else.
And it sounds like I'll say again, that she's planning to go with an all-female crew in 2023. So there you go.
That's so sick. Yeah, feminism.